Hello friends, welcome to the very special video. In this video, I'm going to talk about Tezos' secret sauce and its unique points that makes Tezos different from other blockchains, that makes Tezos the last blockchain. So you'll get to know why Tezos is the last blockchain after you watch this video. So friends, I would also like to remind that I'm going to start a brand new video series called Tezos Builders, wherein I will invite people from around the world who are contributing to the success of Tezos ecosystem, who are building on Tezos. We'll try to understand from them what they're building and how they're building. So friends, I've been getting so many requests to make these videos in English language, so I'm going to put out some videos in English as well. So please subscribe, like and share my videos. Let's get started. As usual disclaimer, whatever I say in this video is my own opinion, my research, and this should not be taken as a financial advice. So friends, the biggest secret sauce of Tezos is that Tezos is the most censorship resistance projects. That means it will be very, very difficult to shut down the Tezos network or to manipulate the Tezos network. If you compare with some of the major blockchains, major proof of stake blockchains like EOS or Tron, they have higher market cap than Tezos. But if you look at the block producers, they have got like 21, 27. So in EOS case, they have 21, and in Tron, they have 27. And we've also heard some news that EOS is manipulating their votes and all that. So again, there are some controversies in regards to EOS voting mechanism. So I'm not going to get into that. So what I'm trying to say that Tezos has the largest block producers, biggest block producers, around about 500, and they are well spreaded around the globe. And not only proof of stake, if I compare with proof of work, the biggest proof of work altcoin is Ethereum. And if I just take these two mining pool, that will have more than 50% of hashing power. That is again not good for the decentralized blockchain. And if you know the 51% attack, that is again very, very bad for the decentralized blockchain. If very few block producers have more than 50% of hashing power, there is always a probability of 51% attack. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. Ethereum is the biggest altcoins. Ethereum has the largest use case, but when it comes to the block producers, to the mining pool, it looks really, really centralized in front of Tezos. And on top of these number of bakers, the deadly combination is on-chain governance coupled with inflation funding. So if you know that Tezos foundation have all the money from ICO, and in hypothetical case, it's not going to happen. Let's say a government or any regulator sees those funds, then what will happen? Even if that happens, Tezos will be able to sustain, will be able to function on its own thanks to the inflation funding. So what happens in inflation funding? Developers can inject their proposal for the betterment of the protocol. It goes for voting, and once the voting gets approved, they get the funding, the tokens gets minted, and they will have their funding, and the network will continue to evolve and run. So these things make Tezos the most censorship resistance coin. This is not going to happen. Nobody is going to seize the fund of Tezos Foundation because they have hired auditor like PwC, and they are doing it very professionally. So yeah, what I'm trying to say that Tezos is the most decentralized blockchain and most censorship resistance blockchain. Impossible to shut down the Tezos network. Moving on to the next secret sauce. So Tezos believes in creating values, not creating useless coins. So what happens in 2017 ICO mania, there were thousands of ERC20 tokens, so-called utility tokens, that tokens not have any utility, and they are useless, they are shit coins, and eventually they are diluting the Ethereum value. They are dumping their Ethereum. And again, if I talk about Tezos, Tezos creates value through grants. So eventually those developers who are building on Tezos, that creates demand for XTZ, for the Tezos currency. There is no 200 or 500 or 1000 Tezos tokens, which eventually diluting the Tezos currency value. That this is not happening in Tezos ecosystem. Rather, they are focusing on major and real use case, that is tokenized asset, security tokens, and they have already got 3 billion worth of STOs announced on their platform, and many big companies, companies who tokenize the assets are moving from Ethereum to Tezos because of the safety of the Tezos blockchain. And the formal verification plays key role for the financial applications or for the security tokens, because if there is real money involved, people will take all the precautions. If you just go back in history and see what happens when DAO got hacked, DAO smart contract got compromised, millions of dollars were lost. Even yesterday I was reading one article wherein there was a bug, I guess, and white hat hackers identified that bug. If that if the black hat hackers would have control on that, would have got that bug, they could have stolen all the funds from MakerDAO in just one single transaction. And in MakerDAO there is about, I think, $250 million worth Ethereum locked. So again, this is not good. And Tezos uses formal verification. They kill all the bugs before it goes live. So these things make Tezos smart contract very secure and very safe for the DeFi and for the security token offerings, the tokens which has real money involved, billions of dollars involved, because there are 3 billion of STOs are coming, and it's huge money. Let's move to the grant. So I'm going to talk about little detail in Tezos grant. So there are two key areas of Tezos grants. They focus on research and education, and they focus in overall Tezos ecosystem growth. So in these two areas, they provide funding to the startups, to the developers, and in the month of September, they have approved 14 new grants. So you can see the pace, how they are funding and how the network keeps on growing. Here are the names. This is, I think the font is very small. If I just enlarge it, you can see these are the grantees. There is IIT Madras from India as well. Edureka, again, it's a big education company. So this is very small list. There are more. So what I'll do is I'll add the biannual report in description, and you'll get to know all the grantees and all the funds they have done in past. Here, if you can see, since July 2018, Tezos Foundation has distributed funds to 62 entities, projects across 23 countries for a total amount of 37 million. So they have just spent 37 million out of 652 million. So they have huge sum of money, and they are trying to decentralize the network across the world. So if you talk about some other blockchains, you can say, okay, Neo is the Chinese Ethereum, Icon is the South Korean Ethereum, but in Tezos, it's going to be the true global blockchain. So that is what they are targeting at. Moving on to the next secret sauce. Again, this is the biggest, secret sauce for Tezos. Tezos is the cash-rich organization. So Tezos has got huge money, which is $652 million, which is very huge. I have tried to compare the Tezos cash with some of the traditional equity companies, which are listed on Indian stock market. And I'm not talking about the small company. These companies are part of Indian Nifty 50. That is, again, large cap organization, large cap equities, which are listed on Indian stock market. So this company has got 400 million worth cash on their book and in their bank balance. And the market cap is around about $12 billion. If I talk about Asian Paints, again, it's a paint company. It's a big company of Asia, and they have got about $200 million on their book in their bank balance, and they have got about 22 billion worth of market cap. So I'm not giving you any price prediction, but if you just connect the dots, Tezos is sitting around, I guess, $600 million of market cap, again under their book value, and they have 652 million of cash reserve, and they have 600 million of market cap. So you could just connect the dots and see what will be the price. Even if it reaches, let's say, this company, Adani Ports, that has 12 billion worth market cap, the price will be $25. So I'm not giving you any price prediction, but you can see how this thing works and how these big organizations have cash which is less than the Tezos, that is 652 million. So if you look at HUL, that is Hindustan Unilever Limited, it's a big FMCG company here in India. They have got about 500 million worth cash, and the market cap is 60 billion. So if you calculate, if Tezos reaches 60 billion worth market cap, what will be the price? So it will be more than $50. So again, this is all speculation and future price prediction, and I don't believe in price prediction, but I've just given you my the perspective how this happens in traditional market, and how the traditional companies which have similar cash on their book and how they are valued. So you can connect the dots and you can take out the price. Moving on to the next slide, that is self-amendment of Tezos blockchain, and Tezos will never get old. It will always remain young. So this is again makes Tezos very different protocol, and it keeps on evolving, keeps on adding all the new features, all the new advancement that comes in this space. So just think of the movie Terminator. I watched Terminator way back when I was in teenage. So there was a machine, and that machine used to upgrade itself. Whenever new updates come, it used to upgrade and used to be better, used to be stronger. So this is what happens in Tezos. Tezos keeps on adding the new features. Like they are going to add Tendermint from Cosmos, they are going to add ZK Snark from Zcash. So the biggest advantage for Tezos is their governance model. So Tezos has got the best governance in the industry, in the blockchain space, and that makes very easy for them to reach to consensus for the future upgrades. Recently they have Athens that got passed successfully. The roll size got reduced from 10,000 to 8,000 in first proposal. The second proposal is live, that is Babylon, and the third proposal I think is going to be ZK Snark. So Tezos will never get old. It will keep evolving, keep updating, keep amending itself on its own. So that's the biggest secret sauce in my opinion, that it will never get old and it will keep on going forever. And just to add, the Tezos has cash, and that can last up to 20 years. So they have the biggest longevity in this space. They are ready to survive any bear market, any slowdown, any economy crisis that people are expecting that there could be a recession. So again, Tezos has enough cash to combat, to fight the slowdown or crypto bear market. Let's talk about Tezos community. Tezos has got widest and vibrant community in this space. There were about 30,000 ICO participants. I was one of them, so it's well spreaded. So there are about 30,000, and the Tezos community is among the strongest and most exceptional in the blockchain space. The foundation exists as a member of this community, working alongside developers, scientists, bakers, and validators. And if I talk about some big people, big backers or investors of Tezos, that includes Tim Draper, Winklevoss Capital, Polychain Capital, Coinbase is a Tezos baker. They run Coinbase custody. There is Binance Trust Wallet that stakes Tezos. So it's a baker. So yeah, it's got a very vibrant and very wide community. So all in all, I would say Tezos is the last blockchain. It will keep running on itself, and I have given all the secret sauce. I have explained everything. Now you can understand, now you can connect the dots and see what will be the future of this blockchain. So with that, I think I'm done for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day ahead.